Hello everybody, my name's Charlie McArthur from Charles McArthur Coaching and Consulting, and today I want to help you learn how to control anger. It's one of the most damaging emotions going around, and it causes so much trouble in so many families. You know, anger can end up putting you in behind bars if you don't get it under control. So today I want to give you a different angle on anger management. Because if you've ever tried to manage someone who's angry, you'll find that it's a very challenging task. So today I want to give you a different angle on how to control yourself, because anger is one part of yourself. Okay, it's a part of you that comes out at times when you don't want it. And if you get angry more than once a year, that's too often. And you may have committed to controlling your anger following the last time that you lost it and hurt somebody. You might have had to build trust to even keep some people in your life when that ugly side of ourselves comes out. And let's face it, it's not a side of any of us that we want to show people. And it's embarrassing at the end of the day. And as I said, it can land you in big trouble, even more so these days with the laws as they are. So first point I want you to consider here is that anger ultimately comes from a belief that you hold. And that belief is that under a certain context, it's okay to get angry. Now, that criteria that I'm speaking about might be when someone's throwing things at you, or it might be the criteria that you were very clear on what you wanted, you had a certain expectation, and then that wasn't met. And that triggered the anger to come out. It might be something as simple as someone cutting you off in the traffic. How often do I see people lose their shit at someone in the traffic? And that's always a good indicator of who's dealing with this problem on a regular basis. But as I said, anger comes from a belief that it's acceptable. Now consider this, you weren't born angry. So sometime between getting born and now, you've picked it up. And for most people, they've picked up anger, or picked up the belief that it's acceptable in a certain context, usually by witnessing their parents having a fight and other people getting angry. Okay, now you might have been 8 years old when you first saw one of your parents get really angry. And consciously at the time, you probably ducked for cover. Get out of here. There's a serious fight going on. But as a 7 or 8 year old, unconsciously what you might have taken in is that, okay, well, under that certain context, under that certain conditions, i.e. someone's throwing things at me, that it is acceptable. Or someone else is angry at me, so that allows me to get angry. That might be the criteria. I mean, it varies from person to person. Some people only get angry when they're in the presence of another angry person. But like I said, some people can fully lose it just because someone cut them off in the traffic. Okay, so it comes from a belief that it's acceptable. Okay, and it sits in your unconscious mind. Because consciously you probably know it's not acceptable. Okay, but unconsciously, given a certain context, it's okay. Much the same unconscious argument that goes on for a smoker. Consciously they know it's unhealthy, it's expensive, and it can make you a social outcast, but when your unconscious mind wants to go and have a ciggy, that's exactly what you'll do. So, controlling anger is just as difficult as controlling a smoking habit. Okay, now if you're someone that has acquired a belief that anger is okay in a certain context, you might want to think about it like a sexually transmitted disease. I mean, you weren't born with it, you didn't go looking for it, but guess what? You've picked it up just from the cards that you got dealt. Okay, and to put your head in the sand and say it's not my problem, that's really not the right thinking, because it is. And for everyone around you, it's their problem as well if you lose it. Okay, now remind you, anger can land you in jail if you're not careful. Okay, so let's talk about how to get this thing under control. All right, now first of all, when something happens, ultimately it's coming from a belief, but normally it comes from expectations that aren't met. So check those expectations. And I'll give you a classic example, the person that gets angry in the traffic. They've got an expectation, now it's unrealistic, they've got an expectation that they're going to have a perfect journey to work without incident. And when that expectation is not met, out goes the finger out the window and some abuse to go with it. You know, I've seen people get angry at their co-workers because the standard of their work isn't up to the standard that the angry person has. And again, I often say to these guys, what, did you expect Johnny there to have your sort of standards? And that person goes, yeah, I don't know why I thought that. Because they carry themselves in quite high regard. But again, it's coming from a false expectation or an unrealistic expectation. To have an expectation that everyone's got your standard of work is not really realistic. And because it's not realistic, it creates an unrealistic expectation, which then becomes the trigger, to allow anger to come out. Now, take traffic for example. You know, when I go out and I commence a journey to go somewhere, my belief is that I'm going to run into someone who's a bad driver. And if I don't, well, then I'm pleasantly surprised. The other thing that I think, if someone does cut me off, first thought I have, rather than they're an idiot, plant the seed in your head that they might be having a seizure. That puts a totally different slant on it again, doesn't it? Okay, so check the expectations. If what got you angry is a ridiculous expectation, well, you can pretty much clean up most of your anger by really contemplating what should you be expecting. And sometimes a lot of people get angry, yet they haven't even expressed what it is they are expecting. So someone doesn't deliver that, they don't even know, the fire that they're playing with. Okay, one of the things that I do when I like to carry the belief that I'm not surprised. So when something happens, someone cuts me off or someone doesn't deliver work to my standard, I've got to sit there and say to myself, I'm not surprised. I mean, there are a lot of bad drivers out on the road, let's face it. And so if someone did cut you off, I mean, how could you be surprised? As I said, I expect it when I go out driving. And so if you're not surprised and then something happens, how can you get angry? You're half expecting it. As I said, anger comes out from your unconscious mind. You don't decide at 8:05 or at 10 minutes to 9 on your way to work that you're going to get angry at that point. You don't decide when anger comes out. It comes from the belief that under a certain context, it's okay. So the first thing is to accept consciously that anger's not okay. It's destructive, it hurts people, and it can land you in a big heap of trouble. Okay? So, first point is, take on the belief, never be surprised. How can you, if you're not surprised, how could you be getting angry? That's like saying, I'm getting angry, yet I was expecting to be disappointed. It doesn't make sense. So check the expectations. Another diffuser that I like to use is the word, it's spelled N-Y-A-A. Yeah. And what does yeah mean? Yeah, well, who cares? Life goes on. Life's full of upsets. Life's full of hurdles and roadblocks and detours. And of course, you don't know when they're going to come. That's where the expectations comes into it. Life goes on. Yeah. So learn to say, yeah, I'm not surprised. Because just those two phrases will probably take out 2/3 of your situations where you may tend to get angry. Okay, let's get to the crux of it. One of the most important things in dealing with a belief, it's a limiting belief, okay, that there's all these possibilities, there's all these rules that open the gates for anger to come out. What we've got to do is shut off that criteria. Okay, so how do we replace a belief that's not working for us with a belief that does work for us? Okay, so let's think about the belief that it's okay to get angry in a certain context. Okay, that's not doing any favors for you to be holding that belief. What would be far more beneficial is to hold the belief that I'm a cool, calm, and collected man, and I will be for the rest of my life. Now, the first time you hear that, you might say, well, I'm not really a cool, calm and collected guy at the moment. But everybody is always changing. Once upon a time, you didn't have the belief that anger was okay in a certain context, and now you do. So we can pick up beliefs, we can get rid of beliefs. And the other thing is, beliefs come in different strengths. I mean, if I was to say to you, do you believe the sun is going to rise over the eastern horizon tomorrow? You'll probably go, of course. That's a strong belief. Why? Because there's a lot of evidence. In the last year, 365 examples. So that's a strong belief. And then I say, do you believe you're a cool, calm and collected man? Well, at the moment, there's not a lot of evidence to support that, right? So we need to build up the evidence that supports that belief. So one of the things that I get to do with my clients who experience anger more than they should, which is more than once a year, is to repeat the statement, I'm a cool, calm and collected man, and I will be forever. And I ask them to do that statement a very special way, and I'll just explain it. The sentence, I'm a cool, calm and collected man, and I will be forever, from memory, I think it has 17 words. And what I ask my clients to do is, once in the morning, once at lunchtime, and then once in the evening, is to say that sentence 17 times. But there's a special way I want you to say it. When you say, I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever, I want you to emphasize the next word every time you say the sentence. And I'll give you an example. I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. I am a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. You get the idea. So we're emphasizing the next word in that sentence every time you say it. And once you've said it 17 times, you'll be at the very last word. I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. That's when you know you've got to the end of the exercise. Now, let me explain what's going on with this exercise. This comes from hypnosis. So what we're doing, by getting you to follow the next word every time you say the sentence, what you're doing is distracting the conscious mind, because consciously you've got to think about the word, right? Unconsciously, you're smashing that statement into your mind 17, 34, however many times a day. And that's a good thing. Okay? Now, let me tell you something about the mind. Whatever belief you've got going on in your head, unconsciously you will look for evidence to support the belief. And the way the brain works, it doesn't matter whether it's a good belief or a bad belief, it'll just go and search for some evidence. So if you start a program where you are going, I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever, and you start that tomorrow, that makes your unconscious mind go and look for evidence. Now, if you go through one day, we would call that evidence that you've turned a new leaf. By the time you've done it 2, 3, 4, 7 times, 7 days worth, that belief is now starting to get some strength. It's moving towards the 365-day strength of you believe the sun's going to rise over the eastern horizon. So we need to continue to build up the belief that you're a cool, calm and collected man. You need to tell yourself that because you need to believe that. And when you believe that you're a cool, calm and collected man, there's a much greater chance of you acting like a cool, calm and collected man. Now, a couple of points. When you say the sentence, I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever, don't sound like a stressed out dude that's about to explode. That would defeat the purpose. So say the sentence like you are, a cool, calm and collected man, and you will be forever. It's slower. It's slower than what an angry person would say. An angry person would go, I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. We don't want to do it like that. I'm a cool, calm and collected man and I will be forever. And what we're doing is we're setting your neurology within your body and associating that with a belief that you're a cool, calm and collected man, and you will be forever. And for every day that goes on, that strength, the strength of that belief becomes stronger and stronger. And what will happen, the belief that anger is okay in a certain context will start to drop, and the other belief that you're a cool, calm and collected man will start to grow. Okay? Now, you just keep going with it until you can feel it. You will start to feel more calm, and you'll be confident that you're calm. And what will happen, you'll go out into the traffic and someone will do something stupid that used to send you off, and you'll go, yeah, I'm not surprised. There's bad drivers everywhere. You know, if you get angry, you are like the bag in the movie American Pie that's blowing all over the place in the wind. You know, men should have a little bit more, bit more grounded. Have your feet on the ground. So it doesn't matter where the wind's blowing. You're a cool, calm and collected man, and you will be forever. Okay? So there's 3 major points in here. First one, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And we say that to counteract our expectations. You might have had the expectations, but if you say I'm not surprised after it, it negates your expectations. Second point, learn how to say, yeah, what's the matter? If you're not going to be upset about it in a year's time, yeah, it's one of those. Okay? And then, of course, go through the exercise. You know, go through this exercise for, for a full week, longer if you can, saying, I'm a cool, calm and collected man, and I will be forever. 17 times in the morning, 17 times at lunchtime, and 17 times in the evening. And please say it out aloud. Don't just think it. Say it. It needs to roll off your tongue like the alphabet does. I'm a cool, calm and collected man, and I will be forever. See, I've said it a lot of times. And why is that? 10 years ago, I used to lose my shit. I've had situations where I'm screaming at the top of my voice at somebody. So angry, so pissed off. And it's a thing of the past. Anger doesn't affect me. It really doesn't affect me anymore. And I choose different emotions to go to if I get disappointed. And if you're a cool, calm and collected man, knowing that anger is poison, I mean, a good one to go to is confused. And the person that's annoyed you and let you down, express to them that you're confused. Because you would be, right? Confused that they didn't deliver their promise. Confused that someone threw something at you. Doesn't happen in this house because you're cool, calm and collected. I'd be confused too. But I tell you right now, confusion is less damaging than anger. Anger is the worst emotion going around. And there is a time and a place for it, as I said. For me, someone puts my wife and kids in danger, physical danger, it's coming out, okay? But that rarely happens, and so it hasn't come out. Okay? Anger's part of you, it's real. Okay? We can't get rid of it. You can't control it. But it's your thinking and it's your framework that you set up in your head is what negates the possibility of it coming out and people seeing that ugly side of you. This just takes a bit of practice, and in 10 days, you can eliminate this. Now, this is just part 1 of anger management. Stay tuned, I'll be back soon with part 2, which really puts an end to it.